I should probably be going to bed, but considering this topic has been on my mind, and for those of you who are watching after the fact, so you'll have information that I do not. So please, if you're going to criticize me for getting something wrong, it's because I simply do not know. This video was recorded October 17th, 2024. Now, what I'm about to say can apply to whether Trump has won or Harris has won. Though, to be honest with you, it doesn't make a difference either way, because what I'm saying still applies. As we get closer to the election, it's obvious who cares about what issues and who doesn't. Like, I do not understand. We're a year into a genocide, and fuck you, YouTube. I will use the G word. Go fuck yourself. And we still have liberals gaslighting us, saying we need to vote for a genocider because Trump bad. What makes Kamalacaust any different than Trump? Anything that is of significance, what is a difference? I don't know if I should be saying this, but I don't care. I feel like with a genocide going on and seeing a 19-year-old get burned alive, that shit's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Imagery that you would see from the Holocaust. A Holocaust is being live streamed for all the world to see. And we still have people either denying that it's happening or do not care but pretend that they care, or just like, oh, the big priority is defeating Trump. Okay. So we just vote for another genocider. We just vote for another Hitler, because that's exactly what Kamalacaust is. Kamala Harris has gone further to the right than even Joe Biden on issues like immigration. When you hear the rhetoric from Kamala Harris, when you find out the people who fucking endorsed her, like Dick Cheney, we're supposed to support a genocider because Trump is worse domestically? I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. Where the fuck is the red line? When is enough is enough? Now, I don't need to say anything about Republicans, because Republicans don't fucking care. Republicans are at least honest that they're evil. I'd rather deal with someone who's openly evil than deal with someone who pretends that they're not evil, but they really are. Kamalacaust supporters, I think, are more evil than Trump supporters. Because at least Trump supporters are honest on where they stand. They don't care about Palestinians. In fact, they actually celebrate, like Israelis, the death of Palestinians. In fact, they have the same genocidal mentality that the average Israeli in Israel does about Palestinians. When I think about it, and I'm being objective here, what right do we have to call Israelis a bunch of psychopathic, sadistic monsters when Americans are not much different from Israelis? In fact, I'd argue Americans are worse than Israelis. Because at least Israelis, they're in your face. They will tell you that they don't care. That they'll tell you their intentions. Americans will pretend they give a shit when they really fucking don't. Americans only don't care about fascism. They don't care about stopping the rise of fascism. They don't care about fascist violence. They don't care about what fascism does around the world. They support it in any way they can. And the only reason they're scared of Trump because for the first time in their pathetic useless lives, they will have to suffer the consequences of supporting fascism. Because they're too cowardly to stand up and say no. I don't feel bad for the people of Florida. I really fucking don't. And I know that sounds fucked up, me saying that. And I will acknowledge that's fucked up. Considering the amount of people that this country has displaced since the end of World War II, the amount of environmental damage this country has committed against every one of its victims, whether it's through proxies or invasions, it's hard to have any sympathy for the American people, despite the fact that I live in this country. I'm having more and more difficult time empathizing with my fellow Americans. I don't even want to even identify as American because I'm so sickened by this country and everything it stands for. Recently, we had some freaking streamer on Twitch talking about Palestinians in the same way that Nazis talked about Jews. And you have people defending that. This is how sick this country is. This country is fucking sick. Oh yeah, the superiority of Western culture. Yeah, so superior when your average American is obese, when your average American can barely afford a place to live, when your average American is one paycheck away from being homeless, when your average American gorges themselves in fast food. It's like, oh yeah, we're the superior culture. Or you have so-called feminists silent as women and children are being fucking murdered for all the world to see. Oh yeah, we're so enlightened that the only thing that we know how to do is, and the thing we love more than anything, is just committing a genocide. Oh, we can't go 1 decade without doing a genocide or two because that's exactly what this supposedly superior organization, sort of civilization is. Because Americans can't go 1 fucking decade without committing a genocide. If you are not sickened by this country at this point, you're part of the problem. Because you can't escape responsibility and claim, oh, Americans aren't responsible for what Israelis are doing. Yes, you are responsible. You're as responsible as a Brit, as someone in France. Anybody that puts their tax dollars into financing a genocide, you can't escape accountability. In fact, I'd make an argument when it comes to the Holocaust, America deserves to fucking be criticized as more so than even the Germans to some extent, because they helped finance the genocide. Hell, they actually assisted and helped freaking the Germans get away with it. Most of the people that perpetrated into the genocide that actually didn't pay any consequences. What they mostly got was a slap on the wrist. That's what your average fucking Nazi in Germany got. Germany was never denazified. America certainly hasn't. It's like it explains why there's so much fucking Nazi shit today. Because the world was never denazified. The end of World War II, it was only a temporary retreat for fascism. Fascism has never been truly defeated. And the very fact that we have an apartheid state that could live stream a genocide, and you have a bunch of sociopathic people celebrating murdering fucking women and children. You had so-called feminists freaking like Briao Wu fucking talking about jailing people who are pro-Palestinian and celebrating the deaths of Palestinians. It's like, where's the feminists on Palestine? Where are they? And Lebanon? Where are they? Why are they only raging when It's issues that affect them. Why? 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 I don't distinguish Trump supporters from Kamalacaust supporters. Because what is the difference? Tell me. And one way that makes them different, besides superficial things. One is more for abortion, one isn't. Yet you have a fucking genocide going on in freaking Gaza, as of this video, and Lebanon. Israelis fucking are just being enabled, because why the fuck should Israelis stop when Americans, the government that fucking funds them, don't fucking make them stop? And I'm so sick and tired of hearing fucking liberals, I'm just gonna call them fascists, who claim to be fucking progressive, freaking say, oh, Joe Biden is doing the best he can, or Kamala Harris is working tirelessly for a ceasefire. What ceasefire? So they can, like, temporarily pause committing a genocide? I agree with Bad Empanada. Americans do deserve Trump. We do. Like, you expect me to feel sorry for Americans when bad stuff happened to them, when they can't even do the bare minimum to stand up to their own fucking government? Americans aren't anything special. Americans are a bunch of fat, obese, fucking cowards. And those in this country that have morals, those who actually stand up for justice, and those who actually don't want to see a genocide continue, they're labeled as the terrorists. They're the ones that are going in prison. They're the ones that are being slandered by the media. It's never the fucking those who fucking support fucking it isn't real. They don't suffer consequences. Yet those who actually fight against this freaking fascist government, who's fucking doing endless PR for a fascist state, making laws, make it so it's illegal to protest against Israel. And then you have the same fucking idiots claiming Israel controls America, when no, America controls Israel. There's been multiple times when Israel's gone too far by the ruling class. And you had Ronald Reagan and a few other Republican presidents that told them to stop. So all it takes is one phone call and this whole nightmare can end. But Joe Biden, like, there isn't anything he loves more than a genocide, and so is Kamala Harris. All these fucking people are fascists. All of them are. There isn't one single person that isn't in our government that isn't a fucking Nazi in one way or another. I hope Trump wins. And I'm fucking serious. And I fucking hate Trump. I hope Trump wins. I think it's time that the chickens come home to roost and Americans suffer the consequences for their actions. For once, Americans deserve to feel the same terror that their victims suffer day in and day out by the regimes that this country props up, by its proxies. No. America deserves Trump. And if Harris ends up winning, that point may be moot, but I don't care. I still stand by it. Americans deserve Trump. Death to America. Long live Palestine. From river to sea, Palestine will be free.